Alright, what's going on, guys? My name's Fameless. Today we're going to be doing a Dinomist deck profile. Um, honestly, it's still a work in progress because of this card coming out sometime in the near future. It's still an OCG, but it's going to be the new beater of the deck, so this deck isn't at its full potential yet. But this is actually what you can do right now, and it's actually really decent, especially with the instant fusions and the infinity. What this deck does best is it pretty much does infinity and like one of those common level 4s. And then you have a common machine level 4, I guess, which is the Gear Gigant. So you probably would Castell if you need to get rid of something, or you 103 if he's all about that raising attack, or if he's all about playing from the grave, you play Abyss. And then what does Daiguesto do again? I barely even use Daiguesto. Okay, so then this guy is just a recycler. And so then other than that, you go into Zenmayo or Pleiades to get rid of back row or pop monsters and stuff. This is what this deck does, though, and it's pretty good. Alright, so then I'm just going to run over the deck, and then I'm going to explain it, and yeah. Also, I'll explain why this is at 14 in a minute. So first off, you run your triple, Rex, and then the only one you're in double of is Ceratops, because Ceratops isn't that good. He's pretty much the Cyber Dragon of the deck. But I mean, like, he's not the best, is what I'm saying. Triple Brachion, triple Turan, this is like the MVP of the deck right now, just because of his searching ability. Triple Plesios. If you can get Plesios control, which I'll explain, whew, that's great. And then Stegosaur is good to have when you're going up against those high level monsters that can only be run over. Like, oh no, wait, I guess that would be destroying by effect. So I guess, like, if you can't get your Rex over like 3,000, you can get out Stegosaur and attack and destroy Stegosaur and that card. So yeah, that's the good thing. He's kind of like an honest. Then instant fusion. Just to be good, just to get out your Panzer or Norden. So like level 5, level 4. The one terraforming just to get power load in your hand as quick as possible. Power load isn't actually that good. Like, they tried to make it good, and I know they did. They were trying really hard. It's pretty good though, because it kind of stops your opponent's back row from like hurting you if you're attacking with your Dinomist cards. But once you go extra deck, this card has like no effect. So then we run the one, oh wait, oh my bad. 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. This is just to help off the back row, even though you have Zenmayo. The limiter removal, because limiter removal is so good in this deck, because when these guys are destroyed, they obviously, the pendulum, they go to the extra deck, meaning they get to be special back out. So you get the double attack, and you pretty much aren't losing them. I only play limiter removal on my opponent's turn. I play it on my turn if it's necessary, but normally it's played during my opponent's turn just to boost their attacks, so they attack into too high of a monster and destroy their own monster, and then the next turn they get destroyed, and then I get them right back out. The Wavering Eyes like this is so good, just because there's a lot of like Rex, Plesios, and Turan you really don't want in the pendulum zones. So if you draw like a Rex, a Turan, and a Ceratops, you activate these two, and then activate this, and then search out like a Brachion, and then activate these two, and then summon these two from like the extra deck. It's so good. Plus, you get the 500 damage, so you get the burn effect, which is awesome. And then it's even better when you're running up against another pendulum user, because I mean, look at this. 3 or more, banish a random card on the field. 4 or more, you search itself. It's what? Then we have the Tenki of the deck, which is Dinomist Charge. This is exactly Tenki, except only for Dinomists. Tenki has, a Beast Warrior, so it's ranged. This is only Dinomist. And it also has that extra effect. Once per turn, when one of these goes to the extra deck, you get to add them to your hand. Power Load. You run it at double. It can be run at single just as easily, because it's not needed as much in this deck. And then, besides running triple Dinomist Rush, all of the rest of the back row is kind of generic. So you have the 1 Bottomless, the 2 Mirror Force, the 1 Vanity's Emptiness, one or two Great Horn of Heavens, and then the one Solemn Warning. And then for the extra deck, we got Panzer Dragon, Elder God Nodin, or Norden. Why is it Nodin? Or Elder Entity Norden, I guess. Panzer Dragon is so good because he's a level 5, a machine type, so he works in Dinomist, he works in Cyber Dragons. He's just really good. We have the Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, just because whenever your Infinity is, like kind of run out and you've used his effect per turn, but his 21 is just not good enough, you can go into Thunder Charger and do piercing. So, like I said, we do the Zamayo and the Pleiades for the compulsory, or for the Walking Compulse, and the and then the Twin Twister and a monster. Plus, 26 and 25, that's pretty good. We run the Nova just to go into Infinity. You don't ever really use Nova because he has the Cyber Dragon effect, and you don't run Cyber Dragons in this deck. The 103 Ragnar Zero when your opponent uses attack difference. Gear Gigan X when you have 2 level 4s and you're kind of stuck. The Castell when you can't get rid of a card, like by battle. Daigusto Admiral if you're running low on cards and you need to you need to have the draw power and the recycle power, and then Abyss Dweller just to recycle, or not recycle, but to prevent graveyard effects. So the triple Rex, he's kind of just plain and simple. He's the beater of the deck. He's got a decent effect that you can shuffle from your one card at random from your opponent's hand, and from the hand or field into the deck. My bad. And then he gains 100, so he's pretty much like Pleiades, except straight to the deck, which is nice. But it's only if you tribute another Dinomist, which you can bring back out. The Ceratops, the only reason for this is sometimes special, but you won't really use the special summon. But the only reason you use them is for his scale 3. Same thing with Brachion, pretty much. Because these two are like Cyber Dragons almost. But you really only use this guy for the Pendulum or for the Scale 6. You use him for the Scale 3, and you use him for the Scale 3. That's pretty much it. And then Tyran, he's super good because he's an 18 with a Searcher. Plus, if you have this out, he's a 21 with a Searcher. Plesios Control, if you have, for example, a Brachion and a Ceratops in your Pendulum Zones, plus a Rex, a Tyran, and triple Plesios, pretty much you've reduced all monsters to 0. Because his effect says monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each Dinomist card you control. That's 7, so meaning your opponent just loses 700 attack on each. And 700, that's like the difference between everything. Oh, and also if you run the 3 charges. The only reason I don't like the field spell as much is because it's dynamic power load. It's not Dinomist power load, meaning it's not searchable through Tyran's effects. Or, well, again, this guy searches monsters. But, yeah, so it's not really searchable through Tyran's effect, meaning the only way it's searchable is through terraforming. So it's not that good, but the effect is pretty good, which is why I run 2. So, and then, like I said, you run the 3 Stegosaur for if you can't get over a monster and it's able to be special summoned, or just scale 3. And then we run the Instant Fusion to get out, these guys to go into Infinity or one of these faster. What is he? He's a fairy in water, okay. So the Terraform Idiot Dynamic, Mystical Space Typhoon to help with back row. I already explained Limiter Removal. I already explained that. This is the Tenki of the deck. This is the pretty good field spell that negates back row pretty much, and then generic. But then Rush, I haven't explained really. Rush is super good just because of the fact that it's pretty much just like super good. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. So you special summon 1 Dinomist from your deck. So meaning if you're like, if you want to like if you're stuck, you have 2 Pendulum cards, but you don't have much in your extra deck zone, or in like your opponent has like a direct attack, you can like flip it to summon like Rex, or when it comes out, Spinos, because I freaking love Spinos' effect. Not only is he 25 beater, but he's got that direct attack effect or the second attack, and that's why I love Cyber Twin Dragon so much, is because it can make 2 attacks. But I like the Cyber Twins better because it can make 2 attacks at 5,600 attack, which was overpowered but easily stopped. So this is just kind of like if you're stuck card. So yeah, this was my Dinomist deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like my video. If you're interested in other deck profiles, my most recent couple were Monarch and Noble Knight, so go check that out on my channel. But other